Broccoli crowns, hot price, $2.99 per pound. Save $1.30 on Purdue fresh chicken leg quarters, only $1.59 per pound. Hunt snack pack puddings, 4 packs, hot price, $1.79. ShopRite fresh frozen fruit, 12-ounce bag, only $2.99. Your choice of any fresh pet, refrigerated pet food, 20% off. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Thursday, March 28th, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. We begin our broadcast with some breaking news. A man was taken into police custody minutes ago, ending an almost 9-hour standoff with police after he is said to have barricaded himself inside of a building in Pembroke. According to witnesses and police at the scene, the man simply refused to leave, leading to the marathon standoff. Police spokesperson Robin Simmons told us before news time, officers had entered the building on the site of the old prison headquarters at Happy Valley. The man was eventually taken into custody without any injury to himself or police. Troy Trott spent part of the day at the scene. Here's how things unfolded.
Intense negotiations. Police and emergency personnel going all out today to negotiate with a man held up inside of this building next to the old prison's headquarters at Happy Valley. But as time went on, hopes of a quick resolution faded as the man stubbornly refused to leave the building as instructed by police. Police spokesperson Robin Simmons.
10:30 this morning, police officers are making checks in the Happy Valley Road area near Curving Avenue in Pembroke when they encountered a man who barricaded himself inside of the old prison headquarters building. Officers initially attempted to approach the man, however, he threw an unknown corrosive substance at them. None of the officers were injured. Ambulance and Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service personnel are currently on scene as a precaution, and negotiations are underway with the man. And as soon as there are further details, we will let the public know.
And as time went on, more police and medical personnel arrived. The heavy police presence was not welcomed by everyone. Some men who frequent the area told Bermuda Broadcasting News they felt the large police turnout was not helpful to the situation and claimed the man in question simply felt threatened, despite allegedly throwing acid at a police officer. Meanwhile, Bermuda Broadcasting News spoke with a friend of the man in question. She did not wish to be identified, but told us his grievance surrounds the very property he allegedly refused to leave and his supposed right to be there.
He's very much to himself. He's a quiet person. He minds his own business. He's done some work for me around my house. We've talked about this situation with the property here, and apparently his family's been here for over 60 years, and he's trying to hold on to what he can as far as our home is concerned.
So that's the primary issue here, that the issue of property.
That is it. And the fact that they've told him that he can't be on the property, until this matter's resolved.
But yet he is here.
Yeah, because he has nowhere else to go, really. I mean, he has family, I guess, that he can probably go be with. I don't know. But he's always known this to be his home. And he's put a lot of work into this place over the years. And now he has to leave. I think they told him to leave, 2 years ago or something like that. Because he's talked about it a lot. The fact that, he's having a difficult time with the place that he's always lived at.
How's his state of mind?
He's very upset right now, to the point where you can't talk to him.
You managed to have a word with him?
I managed to have a word with him, but he wanted to talk to me. He wanted to, to know that I was there. But there were some things that he was concerned about as far as the police was concerned. He didn't want them to be, manhandle him and all that stuff.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you, around here. We know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs for their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
You can count on us.
Sweet eating cantaloupes, hot price, 2 for $5. Fresh certified Angus beef, top sirloin steak, $8.99 per pound. Old time honey wheat sliced bread, 20-ounce loaf, hot price, $4.49. Wholesome pantry almond milk, 64-ounce carton, hot price, $4.59. Family size 24-ounce Kellogg's Frosted or cornflakes, or raisin bran cereal, hot price, $7.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
When did sleep start requiring effort? What if it didn't have to? That's why every Tempur-Pedic mattress is engineered with advanced pressure-relieving material, so you get the deepest sleep you've had ever. Sleep effortlessly with the superior comfort of Tempur-Pedic.
Enjoy the world's finest beds at Furniture Walk, 12 Harvey Road, Paget, 292-5209.
There's nothing like Tempur-Pedic sleep.
At the car wash, whoa, 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 talking about the car wash, yeah. Come on, y'all, and sing it for me. Car wash, woo, woo, woo. Car wash, yeah.
Welcome back. Well, no decision yet, but Premier David Byrd is confident following meetings in Brussels today with representatives of the European Commission that this country will be taken off the EU's list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes. Speaking with Gary Moreno, Premier Byrd explained Bermuda's reputation in the international financial arena will go a long way in influencing the decision on its removal from that list.
Our meeting earlier today with Commissioner Moscovici was without question a positive one, and he reinforced the long-standing cooperative relationship between Bermuda and the European Union. Of course, there was surprise with all persons that Bermuda ended up on a list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes, specifically given our history and record in cooperation in these particular areas. However, after meeting, I'm optimistic that there will be a recommendation that is going to the code group for Bermuda to be removed from the list, and it's expected that Bermuda will be removed from the list at the earliest opportunity. I think it was recognized by all that this was an aberration, as I explained publicly in the House of Assembly, that this inclusion was due to a drafting error, which was unfortunate, but given that there are certain deadlines, and even though we immediately rectified the issue, was past the deadline. But after our meetings today, and there have been a number of them, I'm confident that after the recommendation goes, it is our expectation that it will be ratified by member states, and Bermuda will be removed from the list at the earliest opportunity.
It says here a recommendation will be made. What are the chances of perhaps it not coming out in Bermuda's favor?
Those are always a possibility. There is no question about that. But we are optimistic that the member states will accept the recommendation of the Commission and that it will go forward and be approved. I think that all member states recognize Bermuda's cooperation and long history of leadership in tax transparency issues. Our economic substance regime that is in force is in compliance with the European Union requirements. However, there was a minor technical issue. That issue, though, was resolved immediately, was resolved after deadline, and unfortunately, that ended us up on that list. However, we are confident that we'll be removed from it at the earliest opportunity, and I think the meetings today reinforce that confidence, and we will continue to engage with various member states to ensure a successful outcome for Bermuda.
You indicated that Mr. Moscovici and his associates were surprised that Bermuda was included on this list. Why? Because we seem to be always finding ourselves on some sort of list with regard to situations of this nature. Every time Bermuda meets a standard, another one is set.
What I would say is regarding the surprise, with the engagement of which Bermuda has had with the Commission, with the leadership of which we've had historically on matters of international tax transparency, the fact that Bermuda has been early adopters to most of the international taxation standards, I think the surprise is that this was not in keeping with our recent international record. And so from the perspective of the government of Bermuda, I accepted responsibility for this listing. It was a technical error which occurred, which was inexcusable. However, the error occurred. And so our meetings here this week were to make sure that our relationship, at which we've always had and enjoyed, is back on track.
Once again, Gary Moreno reporting. Well, turning to weather news, another beautiful day. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer. Another day with more showers. We just can't seem to get a break from this, but once we head into the weekend, the weather will start to improve. But as we look at the map right now, you can see that we still have a storm system kind of passing away to our east and also a boundary to our south. We have high pressure trying to nudge its way on over here to keep things on the drier side. Unfortunately, we are dealing with some gusty winds right now, in addition to the scattered showers that are in the area. So as we take a look a little bit closer to home here, you can see that we still have some moisture around. So we're at least allowing for a few more spotty showers as we head into the overnight hours and also as we head into tomorrow as well. It's been a bit of a windy day out there. You can see the winds coming in out of the east-northeast with that storm system just off to our east here. We'll start to see the winds relaxing, and eventually we'll start to see the rain stopping. Let's talk about the rainfall, what we've experienced so far this month, since we're getting ready to wrap up the month of March. We've had over 8.5 inches of rain just this month. And if we look at the numbers of so far this year, what an incredible year it has been so far. Over 20 inches of rain. Normally at this point, we have about 14 inches. So we are running well above normal in the rainfall department. Hopefully that'll help us get through the remainder of the spring and also the summer months, should things get a little bit drier here on the island. Some of the current conditions for you here, we're sitting in the mid-60s. Winds are out of the east-northeast, 12 to 18 knots. So a little bit choppy out there on the water, especially if you're heading out of the reef, with waves between 6 and 10 feet. So we still have that small craft warning here until Saturday morning. Heads up if you're heading out toward the water. If you're here for vacation, here are your tidal times. Low tide coming in tonight at 9:24. So let's get a little bit deeper into the forecast. Overnight tonight, 62 degrees, partly cloudy skies, still breezy, and a couple of showers around tonight. And then breezy tomorrow. More showers on the way. Later in the day, there is a possibility that some of the precipitation could be on the heavier side. But again, once we get closer to the weekend, that's when the improvements start to move their way toward Bermuda. So here's a look at Futurecast getting you into your Saturday. You'll notice some moisture just off to our south, but overall, it is a drying trend by the weekend. Some of the current conditions right now into Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad. Temps are in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 in Trinidad with some showers around there. If you're doing some traveling, here's a look at the forecast for tomorrow. Mid-70s in Atlanta, 60 in London, and into Toronto, Canada. Temperatures right around 50 degrees. Your extended forecast, again, Friday, still breezy and unsettled with possibly some steadier precipitation late in the day. But here are the improvements for this weekend. Hopefully you can get outside and enjoy the dry times. Looks like the next chance for rain will come early next week.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
I'm Michaela, and this is Taking Off. If you've driven by the site of the airport redevelopment project recently, you've seen all the changes, from the foundation being built to the structural steel completion. The roof was completed in January, work has started on the new entrance, and much more has been accomplished. But what you probably haven't seen is the new apron. You know, where airplanes park in front of the terminal. The apron, known as Apron 7, will be able to accommodate 6 airplanes at a time. There are 6 gates at the new passenger terminal building, and there will be 6 passenger boarding bridges. The bridges will be shipped in from Spain. 5,600 yards of concrete has been poured to create the new apron. Each concrete panel is about 400 millimeters or 16 inches thick. The new apron is more than 60% finished and is expected to be completed in May. I'll be back to give you another look when it's all done. See you next time.
And you're watching the Thursday edition of Bermuda Tonight. Opposition leader Craig Canonier is frustrated that the owner of Inter-Island Communication is trying to distance himself from his radio announcer Sherry Simmons, being a consultant to the Attorney General and then inviting Kathy Lynn Simmons on her show as a guest. Mike Sharp brings us up to date.
The OBA chief says this is clearly a conflict of interest.
At IIC is concerned about the fact that they only found out about their employee being hired as a consultant to the AG chambers like everyone else when it was made public notice. I'd like to bear in mind that it was the OBA that started to ask the questions that brought all of this to light.
And what about the interview with the AG?
We understand that a radio interview was done with the AG and with the head of the Department of Child and Family Services after they were hired to be a consultant. That is a complete conflict of interest. The AG should have known better, the Department Head of Child and Family Services should have known better, and so should have been the host of the radio show being hired as a consultant, now bringing them on the radio after they have been hired as a consultant to interview them about the abuse situation and what's happening with the Department of Child and Family Services. That is a complete, clear conflict of interest.
The opposition leader strongly believes that the then Minister of Community Affairs, Michael Weeks, is the person people should be talking to.
What concerns me further about it is if the AG chambers were serious about looking at what's going on there, they should be talking to the former minister, Michael Weeks, who was the one who was showing accountability with the abuse case that came up. Why have they not interviewed him on the radio? Why has not the AG interviewed him as well to get the details?
The minister without portfolio, Jamal Simmons, and husband of radio show host Sherry Simmons, does not take it lightly when his wife is attacked.
I'll first speak as a husband, and then I'll speak as a minister. I take it very personally when people go after my wife and attack her, and the OBA have been attacking her probably for about 6-7 years for various reasons. The reality is that she has a job to do, everyone has a job to do. The key point is this: I hosted a talk show. I hosted Let's Talk. Colonel Birch hosted a talk show. Wayne Walton Brown hosted a talk show. Kim Swan hosted a talk show. And I think we've all shown we're capable of interviewing and doing what we need to do in that capacity. Again, you have somebody who is speaking about something they have no knowledge of, and somebody who, once again, is trying to score a political point at the expense of somebody who's actually doing a good job.
Minister Simmons said he is fully aware that the OBA would love to have Inter-Island Communications, in particular Magic 102.7, off the air.
We recognize that if it had been up to them under the OBA, that they would have taken Inter-Island Communications off the air. That's fine. That's part of what it is. But I think that we have, again, go back to what we try to accomplish. From the government's perspective, we want to make sure that we have our information reaching every audience. And the thing about it, Mike, is that it's a difference between political advertising and government advertising. I can't run an ad through government because there are civil servants and permanent secretaries who vet it. So I cannot run a political ad using taxpayers' money. It cannot be done.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Mike. In other news, the Lord and Nelson tall ship is like none other in the world, specifically designed for people with a wide variety of physical impairments and health conditions. It graced Bermuda shores recently and is part of the UK's Jubilee Sailing Trust.
It's a familiar sight in St. George's Harbor, tall ships. But this ship, the Lord Nelson, is unlike any other in the world. It's one of the 2 purpose-built tall ships in the world accessible for a mixed ability crew.
She was carefully designed to allow accessibility to wheelchairs in particular. We got a flush deck all the way around, so there's traffic circulation of wheelchairs, if you like. There are lifts between the different decks for wheelchair users to use. We have things like a speaking compass, so a blind person can steer the ship just as easily as a sighted person, and slightly wider passageways than you'd find in other ships and that sort of thing.
A small permanent crew of 9 plus 3 volunteers man the ship full-time, but during the week-long voyages it can hold 36 crew for ages 16 and up.
Chair will slide across.
Crew members using wheelchairs can steer the ship comfortably. Essentially, these and other modifications allow crew to carry out their daily tasks.
Everybody is part of a watch, a group of, they're divided into 4 groups called watches, and they have a rota that means that somebody is on duty at all times of day, day and night at sea. and they're steering the ship, they're keeping a lookout, they're helping with handling the sails, helping a bit with navigation if they want to. But also everybody gets to go spending a day helping the cook in the galley. We help clean the ship. And so everybody does a little bit of everything to the best of their physical ability.
The level of detail into the design of the ship is impressive. Wider decks, guidance tracks, and raised directional arrows on handrails for people with visual impairments. The experience on board the Lord Nelson is described as a great leveler.
People with disabilities realise how much they can actually do, and it's quite impressive when you've seen somebody on board for the first time, and they might have had quite a sheltered life living in a home. And then suddenly they're confronted with a completely alien environment, and they realise that all this stuff that they've been told perhaps they can't do, actually they can, and they can play a part as a team.
The Deputy Governor and other guests toured the Lord Nelson, and it's a hope many more can experience a voyage next time round.
We've got a fully booked ship for the run home to the UK, but I do hope that we'll be able to get some Bermudans on board before, in the near future. We're back out this way next winter, so hopefully we'll be able to see some Bermudans sailing with us.
To find out more about voyages with the Jubilee Sailing Trust, go online to jst.org.uk.
I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake.
Over time, your mattress goes through a lot. That's why at Dreams, our experts recommend you replace your mattress every 8 years for a better night's sleep. Replace every 8 years and sleep better with Dreams.
For the world we're gonna make.
Made with care, handled with care, delivered with care. Now that's what dreams are made of.
I'm Tony Waterman. Coming up on The Breakdown this week, we are in New York City at the Bermuda Executive Forum. We're rubbing shoulders with the who's who of Bermuda's business community and also talking to individuals thinking about setting up shop on island.
It's a booming business. Bermuda solves problems. I think you've got a great hand to play.
That's Thursday at 8 o'clock on ZFB TV7.
Earl Basin has tonight's sports report.
Bermuda have been drawn in Group B of the Nations Cup for 2019-2020 against Panama and the powerhouses Mexico. President of the Bermuda Football Association, Mark Wade, said no matter who we were going to be drawn against, things were going to be tough.
The boys are excited. Their chat group is buzzing. They're ready to go. They're even suggesting they should be training tomorrow. So we're looking forward to going into the CONCACAF Nations League Group 8 in September. We're ready to go.
Bermuda's Carifta Swimming Championship team has been announced. Coach Ben Smith tells us more about the team selected.
Sure. So we are very excited about having a team of 23 swimmers this year. It's the largest Carifta team that we've had. We actually had 30 swimmers that started out in the selection pool, which obviously shows that we have a lot of swimmers right now that are reaching the high standards that we set. Knowing that we moved our standards up in the last couple of years in order to challenge our athletes, to have this many swimmers reach that target shows that the local training is working really well. So the team is going to be made up of Brandon Atkins, Pippa Charleston, Caitlin Coleman, Elon Daly, Elijah Daly, Brian Desmond, Daria Desmond, Giada Dudley Pun, Josephine Dearden, Jack Harvey, Bella Howes, Caleb Ingham, Reese Inslee, Imogen Judd, Emma Kittleson, Finn Mosley, Gabriella Pittman, Skylar Powell, Brett Smith, Zebedee Wakely, Logan Watson Brown, Taylor White, Sam Williamson.
In a matter of 5 months, right here at the National Sports Center, Bermuda will play host to the T20 ICC Regional Finals. Here with me is Farah Gossett, the America's Regional Manager. Farah, welcome to Bermuda yet again, but things are picking up pace because we're running out of time to host this event. Where are we and what's your mission here this time around?
Thank you for inviting me back to beautiful Bermuda. Yes, I am here this year to speak to Bermuda Cricket Board. What we will be doing is talking about the WT20 and where it's host, which is going to be this ground I've been told today. Look at the facilities in terms of the teams, because we have USA turning up, we have Canada, we have Cayman Islands. So also discuss that with the board, sit with the board in terms of when I was last here, what strategy have we used moving forward for 2019, but also what have we progressed on.
Hundreds of Bermuda's top primary school athletes took to the track in the Bermuda School Sports Federation's Primary School Track and Field Championships at the National Sports Center. The under-9 division saw the tightest contest for champion girl as Milan Gibbons Thomas from West Pembroke Primary and Kelsey Wade from Northlands Primary shared honors as champion girls with 28 points apiece. The under-9 boys champion was Zayden Liporn Furbert from Warwick Academy, who claimed 4 gold medals during the day. Yasmin Cummins from Purvis Primary produced the 100, 200, and long jump triple gold medal sweep in the under-10 girls division. Sejor Dent from Harrington Sound won the unusual 400, 800, and high jump triple on his way to winning the under-10 boys title. Arima Turner led all over 10 girls with 30 points. She claimed gold medals in the 100, 200, and 400. Zani Allen from Francis Patton won the over 10 boys title with a first place in long jump, third place in 100, and fourth in the 200 meters. The Bermuda Olympic Association has named Branwyn Smith-King, Bermuda's chef de mission, for the upcoming Pan American Games in Lima, Peru. The Pan American Games are the world's third largest international sporting festival. The 18th Pan American Games will run from July 26th to August 11th of this year. Neil Tolson won the Coral Beach and Tennis Club Adult Singles Men's Open Final on Sunday with a 6-4, 6-1 win over Sam Butler. Meanwhile, James Finnegan and his number 91st Florida Tech men's tennis teammates found themselves on the wrong end of another one as the team fell to Montevallo 7-0. Finnegan and J.J. Clark, playing in the number 1 doubles position, went down 6-3. In the singles number 1 spot, Finnegan pushed it deep into 3 sets, but sadly did not find himself the victor as he fell to 6-6, 6-4, 6-4. The Kelowna Rockets advanced to the Bermuda Ball Hockey League finals after they defeated the Guelph Storm 4-2 last evening at the PCC hockey rink. The Kelowna Rockets would get 4 goals off the stick of John Tolbert, while the Guelph Storm would get goals from J.M. Tremblay and Christopher Merritt. The Bermuda Volleyball Association will send 3 junior girls teams to the Tampa United Slam at the end of March. The Paradise Hitters 14 team are coached by Mike Gazard and Lisa LeBlanc, while the Paradise Hitters 16 team are coached by Allison Settle. The Paradise 18 team are coached by Gary LeBlanc. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
New York City has one of the biggest economies in the world, larger than most countries. It is truly one of the most powerful financial hubs in the world. And that is where the Bermuda Business Development Agency hosted its latest executive forum last week. It was a roadshow of sorts, showcasing Bermuda's strengths to potential businesses and investors. Tony Waterman was there interviewing some of the biggest names in the business. And in a 1-hour breakdown special tonight, you can catch those conversations. Here's a tease from her interview with AIG President President and CEO Brian Duperreault when she asked him if being on the EU blacklist could damage Bermuda's reputation.
I wonder if you think that there is some reputational damage that will happen in the meantime.
Well, maybe in part. I would say that on the margins, that could have an effect. But I think the people who know us, who conduct business with us, understand who we really are, and that our reputation is second to none.
So tune in to the 1-hour special tonight. Find out why former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is issuing Bermuda a warning over Cuba and whether millennials are as bad as some suggest. That's at 8 p.m. on ZFE TV 7, so not the usual Channel 9, which is showing the March Madness basketball games. The breakdown will return to Channel 9 next week. That's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for sharing your Thursday evening with us, everyone. Good night.
On the CBS Evening News this Thursday, the Mueller report is more than 300 pages long. Democrats say it should be released now. Republicans want the man who spearheaded collusion claims removed.
I think we all should get the opportunity